everyone, and welcome back for another episode of FMLPK. Just a quick reminder, the deadline is Friday, 6th November, 9 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time, early kickoff. So be sure to make your changes before that. And, the second round of Champions League fixtures is happening tonight. So keep an eye out at the time of this recording. So keep an eye out on those fixtures as well for any injuries that may occur. And the Europa League fixtures coming up as well. And let's get straight into it, man. I'm going to start off with Salman. How did you do?
After last week's discussion, I brought in Zuma.
Shut up, you didn't.
Have you seen that movie, Sliding Doors? Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one, right? So in that, on the other side of the door, I brought in Zuma, and he got a clean sheet and a goal.
14 points.
And he got bonus points. But in the real world, I brought in Chilwell, and he got a clean sheet. So I'm happy with that. However, I would still say that Chilwell, over the course of the season, should be able to make more points than Zuma.
Yeah.
But wildcard time is soon.
Yeah. A little silver lining with that Chilwell situation. They play Sheffield United next, and as Chilwell plays on the left-hand side. So as far as the last 6 game weeks are concerned, Sheffield United are the worst team from the right-hand side. So that bodes well for Chilwell, and even Timo Werner, who I took out from my team last week. And especially with Pulisic being injured, it bodes well. But anyways, so you got in Chilwell, you got the clean sheet. I see you got 2 clean sheets with the second guy, Kilman Wolves, who now seems to be like set.
Nailed on starter.
Yeah, and Sayas has probably lost his place.
How does he lose his place, man?
Which is very surprising. Although the kid who came in place of him was as good as Sayas. I can't remember the name. But he scored a goal, and it was a really good goal.
Yeah.
Not a defender type goal.
And didn't we all berate our league leader for bringing in Kilman early?
Yeah. So they can.
I know there's no justification required. I know he's a fucking moron. Okay, so let's move on.
The unfortunate or the unlucky part is that for the last 4 weeks. I've been getting the captain wrong. I've been switching between Kane and Son, so whoever I choose as the captain, the other guy scores more. I chose Son as the captain, Kane got more.
Blanked. Yeah.
And he blanked.
I know, but I'm looking at your team. I mean, you've crossed the 400-point barrier and you're in the top 600K right now, overall rank. And you scored 63 points, which is like pretty decent in my opinion. And what's really standing out to me is Grealish, man.
Yeah, I kept faith in Grealish, and he is controlling his team. He's
big time.
Big time. Yeah, he's proving to be a true leader of that team. He's calling all the shots. He's certainly going to stay in my team.
Salman, you noticed that Ollie Watkins took the penalty, not him.
Yeah,
I thought he would.
Which is strange. I mean, I would have assumed that Grealish would have taken it.
Yeah.
But he's still got 13 or 14 points, which is a really good score for a person who's in the early 7 million category.
And another interesting thing about Aston Villa as a team, they've had, let's see, in the last 4 game weeks, they have had the second most big chances, 14 only behind Liverpool, okay? And they have scored 11 goals, only second to Tottenham's 12 goals.
Wow.
So they're doing quite well, and they're in the top 4 for goal attempts, They're top for shots on target in the last 4 game weeks. So what I'm saying is that, you don't get just any Aston Villa player, but Jack Grealish specifically, and in the larger concept of the team that he's playing in, they are doing really well offensively right now. So Yeah.
But one punt from Aston Villa would be Ross Barkley.
Yeah. He deserves a shout out, even though, like, you know, but I mean, if you can, like, you'd rather get Grealish, right now.
Yeah.
For
If you've
example,
got the money, then Grealish is the number one choice.
yeah. For example, like, let's say, just looking at your team right now.
But
Well, you
Salman,
you already have Grealish, but so the
Yeah.
point is kind of moot. But like, for example, if I was looking at my team right now, and like with Pulisic, who's injured, I have to consider replacing him. And I mean, I'm going to keep an eye out for the news and to see if he starts on the weekend or not. But Grealish is one of the players that I'm looking at to get in instead of Pulisic.
He's on fire. And you were incredibly unlucky with Pulisic. He was on the team, warming up, gets injured. I have never heard that. Never have I heard of a player who gets injured while warm up.
Look, these are COVID times. The fantasy gods are cruel. Okay?
Pulisic
Just gotta
has
accept
been
that.
your thing all season. Chhod do bhai Pulisic ko.
You know, just when he was coming alive, he scored in that Champions League game. And like, he
Omar
didn't
has
even
had
play
him
the full game.
Since the start.
Anyways, we're going to talk more about that when I pull my team up. You know, and the other thing I'm looking at right now is Calvert-Lewin in your team, who scored 8 points. And I was really concerned this last weekend by the result. Another loss for Everton. That's 2 straight losses, I believe. But you know, Lewin scored, and so I was looking at his like heat map of the first 5 game weeks versus the last 2 game weeks, and and I'm sure we can pull it up. We can show it here. I'm not sure again, but he's not getting as many touches, and he's not. He doesn't have the same presence that he did the first 5 game weeks. Now, I don't know if that's like an issue that's specifically with the striker himself, or that's like a larger systemic issue with Rodriguez not being available this last game week. So but something to keep an eye out on, because you know, last season he was on fire, and then all of a sudden he stopped giving returns post the restart. So something to look out for and keep an eye out on. I mean, I know he scored very late in the last game, but I'd be keeping an eye out on that as well.
After this game week ended, I had thought of changing DCL to Ings, but Ings is now injured. He's out for 6 weeks. So I saw anyone in mind, maybe Jimenez, but DCL and Jimenez are both scoring the same level of points.
Yeah, Jimenez blanked last week, so
yeah, he did.
You know,
which is quite surprising, because I saw the game. He wasn't as aggressive as he normally is. And I don't know if there's a structural change in the team formation, but I don't have anyone in mind who I can change with DCL. So I'm going to keep him for another couple of weeks.
Yeah.
In fact, this week I'm not making any change for sure.
Yeah. So you mentioned you weren't making any changes, so is it because you want to not ideally use your wild card and have 2 changes in the bank after the international break? Is that the reasoning? Okay. All right. So just, if you're not going to change your team, so we're just going to, hopefully you'll have decided by the time this episode is edited what your final team is. And if we're going to show it here. So who's going to be your captain?
Son.
All right. And we're going to discuss more of that later, like when all the captain picks are out.
You've once again convinced me to change from Kane to Son before we started.
Just hold on to that. All right, so let's move on to Murtaza then real quick. So Murtaza,
my first green arrow, man. My first green arrow.
You got 75 points. Yeah. And again, I'm looking, you had in your team Salah and then Wilson. Wilson returned for you.
Wilson returned, Foden's return, man. What are you talking about? Foden's return.
So you have also crossed the 400 point barrier, and you're sitting at the 552,000 overall rank right now, Mark, somewhere around.
Mac
Yeah.
where I wanted to be. I wanted to be at 420 points at bang on 7 weeks.
Okay.
Your
Okay.
60-point average.
So you have, as I understand, 2 transfers right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
and you are looking to make a change. And
I
just
have
looking at your team, so what are you thinking? What was the question that you were asking me earlier?
so Trent or Digne.
So you want to take either one of these two out, and you want to bank the other change for international, post-international break. Is that correct? So that when we come out of that game week, heading into game week 9, you want 2 transfers.
And keep in mind, I
So
still have 2.1 in the bank. I have lots
yeah,
of money sitting there.
okay.
Yeah.
So keeping in mind the fixture swing that's going to come up from game week 10, like
Yeah.
the fixtures are going to change significantly post, like starting from game week 10. Okay, so I would pick Trent. I would say Trent out for the same reason I said last week, and me and Salman argued was that first you have a like-for-like replacement in Chilwell. At the time we recorded that episode also, there was not that whole thing about clean sheets with Chelsea, which is becoming sort of the thing now that maybe Chelsea can keep clean sheets.
2
this
clean
season.
sheets, man.
Yeah. So
What a goalie, bro. Did you see that save against Rashford? Wow.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy save. So now with the added factor of Mendy and errors not happening in the back, maybe like the defenders are more confident of playing, you know.
Right.
So clean sheets are seeming more of a possibility now with.
Well, Salman says Chilwell, but you're saying Zuma.
No, I still say Chilwell. I mean, I'm just saying that, okay, yeah, he got 14 points, he has 3 goals. But again, this week, Sheffield United, that right-hand weak side that everyone in so far they've faced this season seems to exploit them from that side. I think it bodes really well for Timo Werner and Chilwell.
I'm waiting for tonight's news on the game, Champions League. And if anything, then I go for Chilwell. My backup, what I'm thinking is Cresswell from West Ham. That's another guy I have my eye on. So ideally, I want the money out of Trent and Digne, but I was going to give one of them a chance.
Murtaza, this Champions League is obviously we'll have to follow, but on Chilwell and Zuma, I think what's happening is because they've got a great goalkeeper, their defenders are going forward more. Zuma, I think, scored 2 goals all of last season, or 3 goals, and he's already scored that. So maybe he's playing the role of Van Dijk, where the
he gets in the box during set pieces because he has that assured sort of confidence in the back that my keeper and Thiago Silva will cover for me should it quickly turn into a
Liverpool
counter.
Maybe like Liverpool had with Alisson, right? So that's definitely
Van Dijk. So although
another thing to mention with Trent is that they're playing City and Leicester next.
Trent has to go out. I mean, they can't keep clean sheets against the lousy teams. They're certainly not going to keep clean sheets against Leicester.
2 assists last night, man, in Champions League.
So wouldn't you be worried about the minutes? Like him being tired and like traveling? Was it an away game? I'm not sure.
Yes, it was. It was. They played Atlanta. And Mane and Salah played the full game as well.
They all played.
Man, so I think for me, it would be Chilwell for sure.
Yeah.
But another person who you should keep a lookout for is Lamptey. They're playing Burnley at home. Burnley don't score, as in they haven't been scoring. They've scored 3 goals in 7 games. This is the best chance Brighton have to keep a clean sheet and to win the game.
So Lamptey is more of a budget asset. He's looking for that premium like-for-like replacement.
Then Chilwell. Chilwell, depending on when you're going to use your wild card.
Honestly, I don't even like the look of Digne in your team right now.
I don't want him. I want Cresswell and Chilwell, the CNC Music Factory, bro.
Nice.
CNC Music Factory.
It's all well.
So All right. So hopefully things will be clearer after the Champions League fixture. So I just want to ask you who your captain pick is going to be, and then we're going to get back to that again later, like in the last bit. So who are you captaining this week?
I'm on Kane right now.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my team, I guess, real quick here. I did terribly. I got 36 points. I took a -4. I mean, I got that Chilwell clean sheet instead of Trent, so that worked out for me. And I mean, I don't know what I was thinking with Bamford for Timo Werner. And had Pulisic not gotten injured, then I wouldn't be saying this, I suppose, right now. But I mean, I don't know what I was fucking thinking. Like, no one ever scores back-to-back hat-tricks or goals or whatever. But I think still Bamford, not a bad choice in the medium term at least. Going forward for the next 2-3 game weeks.
I shared a stat with you. On Bamford, home and away.
Yeah.
And Leeds has the next 3 away.
Yeah. So, but the mistake I made, and I believe that this was the mistake, is that I should have known. I just didn't see it at that time, the Son blanking at home and the whole thing where Tottenham, when teams go to Tottenham, they sort of sit back and then Son can't use his space and he ends up not getting the same type of returns that Kane is getting at home. Whereas Son is getting amazing returns away from home is because, probably the home team sort of gets at them and that allows Son to use his space. Right. So I didn't see that, wrong captain pick. But yeah, I'm not really sure if I want to make a transfer this week. I'm going to keep an eye out on Pulisic. If I get that news that he doesn't start for sure, I'm looking at changing him with either Grealish or Hakim Ziyech right now. So
Ziyech, if he becomes a regular in the team, I think he is going to turn into
of course he's going to become a regular, but it's just a question of when. I don't want to sit in on another player who's not starting at this point. Right now, I want him to short start if I'm spending 8 million pounds. So, and then I'm just setting up my team for this week.
But my suggestion to anyone who has just one change available, and if they don't plan to use their wildcard post the international break, is not to make any changes this week and bank it. At least have 2 changes available post the international break, and if required, make 3 changes, get -4. With the current situation in Europe, you don't know what's going to happen. Everybody's going to travel out. England itself is traveling out, so which means that everyone is going to go home. Apart from players like Mane, Salah, Son, key players, I don't think they're traveling. But England is going to Belgium, which means KDB is going, which means Grealish is going, Foden is going, DCL is going. So if anyone has one change and no plans of using their wildcard, bank it for sure.
Yeah, but again, my hand is forced in the sense that I'm not going to persist with Pulisic on the bench anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's correct. But Chelsea is I think playing Sheffield, right?
Yeah. Yes. And right now, even though I'm very averse to taking a minus, but come Friday, I could boot both Trossard and Pulisic.
No, dude.
No. Omar, Brighton is playing Burnley at home. That's 3 points for Trossard.
100%.
If you do a -4, you need the alternative, the player coming in.
I would get Ziyech and Jack Grealish in.
Grealish is playing Arsenal, bro. There's no hope there.
Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to be rational. Yeah, you're right. They are doing very well defensively, but I don't know if I can be rational when I'm trailing an asshole.
Just call me when you're about to do that on Friday. Call me and I'll convince you.
Let's go live. Let's go live.
Let's It's good. Yeah.
Sweaty.
Anyways, so captain pick. I'm also picking Kane. And the reason for that is it's just that his stats are much more well-rounded. He has more of a threat from the assist point of view and the goal point of view. But on the flip side, it's an away game. Like I mentioned, Son does better away for whatever reason. But then West Brom's defense is also improving. But the thing is, I don't have any other alternative in my team to captain besides a Tottenham asset right now. So it's definitely looking like it. No, I don't think
Mane is
I'm
at
captain.
home?
Mane is away at City. I don't think I'm going to.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Sorry, yes.
You don't have Werner either, right?
I don't have Werner. I took him out last week. He's looking like, in my opinion, like if there's an alternate, if there's an alternate to a Tottenham asset, then it would be a left-handed asset of Chelsea.
Which is Ziyech.
As captain. No, which is Timo Werner right now. It's looking like that. If Pulisic is injured and he plays the same way, like he chooses to play Abraham up front, then Werner is going to play on the left-hand side.
I mean, Tottenham asset against the worst team in the league. It's a no-brainer, man. No-brainer.
Yeah. So, that's pretty much it.
And his history is pretty good against West Brom. 7 played, 7 returns for Kane. Yeah.
And I think even on the scout, he's like in an overwhelming majority for the captain's poll. I think it's and Son number 2.
Yeah, it has to
and
be.
And both of them
Kane
together are taking like 90% of the vote or something like that.
Yeah. So I've chosen Son as the captain. Hopefully it'll stay that way till deadline. And before we started this episode, Kane was my captain, but I've changed it based on the results of the last 7 game weeks, which you pointed out. If you look at his away results, they're much higher than the home game results. I think there's only one home game where he scored double digits. And there are 3 home games where he scored double digits, including the 24 points against one of the teams, and then he scored 4 goals or something. So away from home, he's getting more returns.
He's averaging some 12 points. Away from home.
And at home, he's blanked 3 times, including this game week. And so I flipped from Kane to Son as the captain. Yeah. Although I had Son as the captain and he blanked, but I think this point on when they're away, opponents tend to be higher up the pitch, and Son has more of a chance of getting returns.
Well, what are you guys' thoughts on West Ham with the fixtures changing now?
Amazing, dude. Fulham, Sheffield United, Aston Villa, Manchester United, Leeds.
But they've been pretty much zilch with Antonio missing, no? I didn't offense last.
I mean, but they're defensively much more solid now. They're much more solid defensively.
I'm talking offensive assets like your Bowen and Fornals and all that.
It could be good.
Fornals scored, I think, this game week without Antonio there, and he's a good player. But I mean, there are much better options available in that price range in other teams to look at. West Ham defensively, they've really improved, but I don't think they're in the top 5 or 7 in terms of number of goals scored. So maybe look at Diop or Ogbonna as the cheap defenders to bring in. But Souček hasn't done anything. Fornals has scored a goal. Antonio is the only person who is can be in the team, but he's injured. Once he's back, then you can think of getting him in.
But last 4 games, West Ham has scored 8 goals. That's the 4th most goals in the last 4 game weeks.
Wow. They've scored 8. They've scored 2 every game.
They're averaging 2 every game. Tottenham has scored the most with 12 goals.
12 goals, yeah.
Yeah, then Aston Villa and Southampton are tied with 11 apiece. Then it's Chelsea at number 3 with 10 goals, and Liverpool and West Ham are tied, 8 goals.
They've been good.
But yeah, Antonio is now injured, and there's like widespread reports in the media that he could be out for at least a month. And his manager has confirmed that he's going to miss the Liverpool game. So I don't know how that's going to shape up for them offensively speaking.
Yeah, but Liverpool are leaking goals as well. So I think, but I wouldn't bring in a West Ham player right now. Till the time that Antonio is back, I wouldn't.
I asked because
considering.
I have Jota on my team and I need to move him too. So I'm looking for that budget 6 million kind of asset.
Man, I would say triple up on Chelsea.
But there's no one for that price.
If you want a 6 million, Foden or Barkley.
But मेरे पास Villa का है already and Foden.
Then Foden. But till the time that Aguero doesn't come back, I think his place is relatively safe. Although, sorry,
Jesus is back last
Torres
night.
is, huh?
Jesus was back last night and Torres is fighting.
Yeah, that's true. So Foden becomes a little risky. You already have a Villa asset, so
I just thought कि West Ham के इतने अच्छे fixtures हैं कि कुछ तो निकलेगा. If they've had this kind of return with the worst fixtures, I feel कि these Souček is 4.9, Salman. 4.9.
He's lost value.
Yeah, that's like an off the bench guy, man. Why not?
Yeah, and surprisingly, he hasn't done anything because last season he was doing really well. Even after the restart, I think he was getting decent returns.
How about Yuri Tielemans?
Yeah, that's a
For Leicester,
that's
right?
a good option.
6.4. Check out the fixtures: Wolves, Liverpool, Fulham, Sheffield United, Brighton. Manageable.
You can get Jota for that price too.
I don't know why Jota isn't starting in place of Firmino.
I'm not sure if Jota will start because he played 90 minutes in the Champions League.
Yeah,
But he didn't
And
play
he scored a
the whole
hat-trick.
game. He's been off the bench for the league games.
he's and he scored a hat trick.
Yeah, so I don't know if he starts against City. Let's see.
Murtaza, JWP is also James Ward-Prowse is also lost.
Yeah.
He
But
got 17.
With Ings out, doesn't the offense kind of die? I mean, isn't he the engine?
But as in the 2 goals that he got in this game week were both his goals, set pieces.
So
it's not as if he's getting the assists. He's taking all the set pieces. And with Ings out, he's going to take the penalty if it does come. And at least for this week, they've got an easy match. They've got
Newcastle at home.
So, that's a relatively easy match. They should be scoring.
But then they have Wolves United after that.
Yeah, and United are also giving away goals. Then they've got Brighton, and then they've got Sheffield. By that time, you will use your wild card because it will be close to expiry. But maybe JWP is a good punt to take.
Good call. Good call.
His ownership will be very low.
Good call. Yeah, true.
I would still pick Tielemans though. Easier fixtures.
He's a good choice.
For Leicester, right?
Yeah, easier
Leicester fixtures are also decent.
Better than Southampton's in my opinion. So
and a better team.
Anyway, I think that pretty much covers it from us here at FMLPK. And be sure to join our league or check it out. The code is up there somewhere. And good luck with your teams. Again, Champions League fixtures are happening. Keep an eye out on that. And early kickoff, 6th November at 9 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Good luck, guys.